Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday after the premiere that we had, I did a live stream for Patreons and members, the ladies and gentlemen's club members. And we talked about what are some of the good things that have come from this Gamestop fiasco that's been going on, that everyone's been talking about for the last week or so. And this morning I woke up and I'm on my way to go trade some of this crap right here, some of this fiat crap, in for silver. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I forgot to mention a very important thing that we got out of this GameStop fiasco. I forgot to mention it. One of the things that I said, it's a good thing that that happened because now people are starting to wake up. But I forgot to mention what I think, and I just realized it this morning because I'm getting ready to go and, like I said, exchange some of this crap for silver. So I just thought about it this morning. And I think that the most important thing that has come out of the GameStop fiasco, and also what happened to all of those service members that were brought to our, to protect our representatives, what happened to them, with them being pretty much pushed aside after they were used and no longer needed. I was thinking that the best thing that has come out of that is that people are waking up, that people are realizing that we are on our own side. There are two sides in this country: the people against those that want to rule us. And although the people, although we have our differences, with this GameStop fiasco and with the fiasco that happened with the service members being sent to protect our representatives, that even though that there are several sides, more than one side, two sides against each other in the country, that even though the people are divided, within those two things, the people came together and said enough. But today, here I sit and I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen, I hate this. I hate this. This is what they tell us represents our lives. This is what they use to enslave us and to make sure that we don't have a choice, but the illusion of choice. So this GameStop thing that's going on, it allowed me to realize that if we stick together, as a people, we can win. We can win as long as we stick together. Because let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we will fall divided. We will fall divided. You all know that I retired from the military. And when I joined the military, it was with all great intentions. I joined the military because I wanted to serve my country and I wanted to protect the rights and the Constitution. I wanted to protect the rights of the people of the United States and protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Right? And it took me a long time to realize one thing, ladies and gentlemen. It took me a long time to realize this, that when I went to Iraq, when I went to Afghanistan more than once, I was not sent there. Although at the time I did not know this. And most service members don't know this, what I'm just about to tell you. I was not sent there to protect your liberties. I was not sent there to preserve your rights. I was not sent there to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. I was sent there to protect one thing, and one thing only: this. I was sent there to protect this. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, these worthless pieces of paper that we gauge our lives on, this is what they sent us to protect. They don't send us to protect you or preserve your liberties. In the last 60 or 70 years, every war that we've been to, which aren't even wars, The last war that was declared by Congress was 1941, World War II. Everything after that has been a pretty much unilateral decision to send troops to other countries to protect this. Even Vietnam. Do your research. I don't think I've ever gotten into this, and I'll try to make it quick, because I do tend to get emotional sometimes. I have a brother in arms that saved my life because we were protecting this. And it just happens that 6 years, 1 month, and 1 day after he saved my life, he goes back to Afghanistan and he gets blown to pieces for this. Not for your rights. Not for your rights. It was for this, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't know it. He was serving his country. He was taught that you should serve your country. But that's not the country we live in anymore. The country that we live in today is run by a government that asks you to serve them. My friend Frankie will never ever see his daughter again, ever. Why? Because he was sent to Afghanistan to protect this, and to Iraq. My brother in arms, Sergeant Coke, will never see his daughter. My brother in arms, Robert Rapp, or Bobby, will never see his daughter. My brother in arms, Sergeant Bridgewater, who took his own life after getting back, will never know what it's like to be married or have a wife. For this. So when I see what's happening with GameStop, I'm thinking to myself, we can win, but we have to stick together. The little guys got together and they beat the big guys. And now the big guys are trying to use their influence upon the politicians that they pay off to try to beat that little guy back down to where he belongs. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been listening to me for the last 3.5 or so years that I've been saying this, you're not part of the club. We are not supposed to get to that 4th or 5th or 6th rung of the ladder. We're supposed to take on the first one, and maybe, if we're lucky enough, maybe we can get to that 2nd rung. But then you'll realize that whenever one of the little guys starts to get to that 4th or 5th rung, they add another 20 rungs to the ladder. We are never meant to belong to ourselves. They own us. In their eyes, they own us. Work all your lives for paper. Work all your lives for paper, so that we can steal the wealth from within it. The average person loses about 70% of their wealth throughout their life just from inflation alone. Because this is not wealth. This is paper, ladies and gentlemen. This is paper. Nobody worked for this. When they created this, no one had worked for it. It is debt. So when I see the GameStop guys go after the big guys and win, and now get into a battle with the SEC and these big hedge funds, I say, hell yes. You know, I told my Patreons and my club members yesterday that I know somebody that bought 200 shares of GameStop when it was like $38. And when it got to like $150, I told him, you should sell some. You know, sell some and at least get some profits out of there so you can recoup whatever, you know, you put into it. And you know what he told me? He says, hell no. And he told me something that I've never heard before. He says, I'm going to have hands of diamonds. And what he meant by that is that he is going to keep that money in there, even if it goes to zero, as long as the hedge funds can pay for what they've done to us over so many decades. How many of you know someone that's lost their house? How many of you know someone that's lost their job? How many of you know someone that has a child that went to fight for our liberties and lost their lives? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of wanting to be free in the freest country in the world. Why should someone say, I just want to be free before I die in the freest country in the world? Why? Well, this is what I say, ladies and gentlemen. We can win, but we have to stick together. Take this crap and turn it into something real. Don't give it a chance to get old in your bank account. Because the older it gets, the less it's going to buy you. Turn it into real money. Turn it into something that is real, that is of the earth, something that is pure, something that will preserve your purchasing power. And I know that many of you are going to say I'm crazy. Well, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that if we stick together, that we can actually win this fight. Because this fight's been going on a heck of a lot longer than people may think. But we are so divided as a nation that we can't even talk with each other. Well, let's take this opportunity to Gamestop the banks. Let's Gamestop this system. Get out of your banks. Take everything out that you can take out. Only leave in what you need to pay your bills. Because I do understand that we live in a technological world. And most people pay their bills through their bank accounts online. Leave what you need to leave in there to pay your bills. Take the excess and buy food. Store food. Buy real stuff that's going to last you a long time. Buy things that will add value to your life. Preserve your wealth in real things. It doesn't have to be silver. This system is going to end one way or another, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you this right now. This system will end one way or another. It'll either end with us being completely enslaved, or it will end with us getting out of the system and realizing our freedom, our true freedom, and living out our destiny without people telling us how we have to live our lives. Without people stealing our wealth every day. Do you really think that the politicians are really in on this as far as, yes, let's help the people. Let's help the people. We have to have hearings. Ladies and gentlemen, once this is all over, a year from now, no one will even remember this unless we stick together. If we stick together, we can win no matter what it is. The politicians say what they need to say in order to pacify the masses, in order to pacify those that they would hope would vote for them. They say only what they need to say. That's all they've ever done. The power is in us, the people. The power lies within the people. There's 535 people on the Hill, and then 2 more in the White House that decide how we can live our lives. That decide how much of our wealth they're going to steal tomorrow. We are nothing but a number to these people, ladies and gentlemen. We are nothing but a number. Remember my good friend Frankie Phillips? Well, you know what? That guy saved my life, and then he died. And I was disgusted because I saw the president, and this was several years ago, but I saw the president mentioning him on one of his speeches. And he said, yeah, Frankie Phillips this, Frankie Phillips that. He was a medic in the Army. Frankie Phillips was never a medic. He was an infantryman. They talk about us like they know us. When one of these politicians says, thank you for your service, they know exactly what they're thanking a veteran for their service for. They know exactly what they're thanking them for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this doesn't ruin your Saturday, but I hope that it motivates you to get out of the system. Get everything that you can out of the system. Be your own central bank. Be your own central bank. Oh, AP, but what if somebody robs me? Do you want to be free or not? Figure it out. Would you rather be vested in this crap? Would you rather be vested in this or something that's real? You know that this is not real. How can a debt, this is a debt note. How can a debt note have value when it is debt? Has no value. The only value in this is in the people that create it. It has value for them because they get to spend it first, and then they leave us the scraps to fight over.